North Melbourne, very strong win. Defeated Hawthorn by 28 points. They actually sit fourth on the ladder at the moment with 3 wins and 2 losses. The 2014 and 2015 version of this team, as we mentioned before, was so overrated. But the 2018 edition is proving to be quite underrated.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, you did think they were going to be a little bit
Brad
better.
Scott has never dropped or gone to the bottom of the ladder, apart from last season. Yeah. If you look at it, 9th, 8th, 10th, 6th, 8th, 15th.
He's also never rebuilt a side.
I think Brad Scott is such a good coach, and he would be perfect for a team if, well, now Collingwood's in good form, but if they did sack Buckley, Brad Scott would be the man that I would look at to replace him.
Yeah, I think even last year, yes, they had 6 wins, but they lost a handful of those games by less than a kick. They could have very easily had 10.
And they got Ben Jacobs back.
That's the thing. He's
Best
been
tagger.
really good.
Tom Mitchell, he kept him to 19 disposals. Patrick Cripps, 19 disposals.
Oliver.
And Clayton Oliver, 20 disposals.
And then he had Seb Ross versus the Saints. It was the first time Mitchell's been held under 20 touches since round 1 of 2016. So that's an incredible effort to keep Tom Mitchell to under 20. And then on top of that, you got the bookends, which is what these other teams down the bottom don't have. Ben Brown is currently leading the Coleman. He's kicked 19-4 for the season.
Spirit of Tasmania.
Been incredibly accurate. And then Jared Wade as well. He's kicked 10 goals in his 5 games. So you can't really complain about that. We know he's only played 24 games over the past 2 seasons combined. So can he play every game? It's always the question with him if it's injury or suspension. Jed doesn't think so. And then down the other end, you got Robbie Tarrant, who's emerging as one of the best key position defenders in the league. Scott Thompson's actually playing really, really well. He's found his form again. He's playing perfectly that second fiddle role. Majak Daw looks to have found a role across half back. He looks really good. They just got players who are coming through. We've always questioned their youth, but Luke Davies-Uniacke looks really promising. He was rested versus the Hawks, but he looks good. Jai Simpkin, Jed Anderson, Trent Dumont, Ryan Clark, Sean Atley, they're all showing glimpses. Yes, they're pretty inconsistent, even in games. They were quite good in the first half. They jumped out to a 57-point lead, I believe it was, at halftime, and then the run from Hawthorn came. But they still held them off. And
they wanted nothing to do with that game in the 3rd or 4th quarter.
Yeah, they did kick 11 goals to 3 in the first half. So they did their work early and then held off the surge from the Hawks. And then you got guys like Ben Cunnington, Jack Zeeble, Sean Higgins. Unfortunately, Higgins obviously had that concussion.
On the day his baby was born.
Yes. Thankfully, he doesn't have any memory loss, apparently, so he still remembers it all. Ben Cunnington had 30 touches and 6 tackles. He was great. Jack Zeeble's been playing a lot more forward. Is it fair to say that Jack Zeeble's a poor man's Dustin Martin? The way he's going forward, he's
Joe
a hard-nutted midfielder. Yeah, in a way.
Then I guess so. Yeah.
It's not a bad thing to be a poor man's Dustin Martin. It's just because he plays forward. He's a really nuggety midfielder.
Yeah, he's in that type like a Petrarca as well. They can do it. And
yeah, I really like him. I think he's a good player. He's probably not as consistent as he maybe could be to take himself to the next level. But I think he's a really good player and he deserves some credit for it. And then as well, Todd Goldstein, he's not setting the world on fire, but he's had over 30 hitouts in 4 of his first 5 games for a guy who they were trying to trade.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
So they've got Port, Sydney, Richmond, GWS and Fremantle. As we said,
Yikes.
right now, yeah, that is a bit of a yikes. Right now they're 3-2, but for a team that finished 15th last year, a lot of people pegged them to finish wooden spooners this year. They've got some pieces, even Billy Hartung. We've always called North Melbourne one-paced. He gives them that second pace, that second gear. I really like him. I think they're going to be better. You disagree.
Yeah, I disagree.
Yeah, why?
They beat Hawthorn, half of Hawthorn's VFL side. No Cyril, no
Still
Poppy.
beat Hawthorn.
Yeah, still.
The
They-
team that beat Melbourne the week before.
They
crushed
blew,
Melbourne.
They almost blew a 57-point lead.
But they won.
The
Yeah,
way
but
they played
they
in
won
the
easily.
3rd and 4th quarter.
You can't blame them for taking
were
the foot off
within-
the pedal a little bit. They were up by nearly 60
No,
points at
Carlton
half.
No,
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 no.
no.
90
This
points.
isn't taking the foot off the pedal. They did not want to play. The Hawthorn were running them down. They did not want to play. They were kicking
They
sideways,
did have
kicking
2
backwards.
less players.
They were
on
trying
the
to kill the
bench.
clock.
They had
in the
2 less
3rd
players
quarter.
on the bench.
But that's
Yeah.
what you're going to get with a team full of young players. And
Yeah, they are
not
going to run out
gonna
of
make
steam
finals.
eventually. I just think they
Credit
deserve
for
some
them
credit.
for holding on, but like they
Are they going to
that
avoid the
28-point
bottom
win
6?
isn't as
Let's
big.
just put it that way.
Probably not.
You think they'll still finish bottom 6?
Bottom
think-
6 is pretty.
I know.
It's a lot.
It's
It's 6
yeah,
teams.
That's a,
Yeah,
that's a lot.
I know.
They'll be in the top part of
Top
the bottom.
part of the
So
bottom
about like
six.
13th.
13th, yeah.
Yeah,
I think,
mid-grade,
yeah, same. I had them around 16 or 17. I reckon they could be 12 or 13 for sure.